So what's going on, guys? My name is MrDalekJD. Thank you for joining me, where today we are going to be talking about Black Ops 3 Zombies Chronicles and its most recent update on PlayStation and Xbox One. This is version 1.23. I'm sure most of you guys have this already on your consoles if you've been playing Black Ops 3 today. And this addresses a ton of fixes and bugs to several Zombie Chronicles maps. In this video, we're going to be discussing every single difference. Now, just before we get into it, I did upload a video earlier today showing a brand new Origins Easter egg. If you haven't seen that, it will be on a little card for you in the top right. And if you do come across any bugs since this update, drop it down below in the comment section. Before we jump into specifics on each map, there are some global fixes to Zombie Chronicles on PlayStation 4, where it's fixed an issue where incorrect voiceover lines were playing in various levels. I had this legitimately earlier today where I was playing as Richtof and Ikino de Toten, and he was speaking of lines that you'd hear inside of Revelations, which I was like, hang on a moment, is this some sort of Easter egg? But no, that was a bug. It should now be fixed. There's also an issue fix where all players would hear the Galil firing audio regardless of their distance from the shooter. This happens a lot in custom zombie maps where, of course, some guns are ported over where you can just hear it regardless of wherever you are. That's now fixed for the Galil, which is great. There's also a fix where the fire sale audio was playing too loud. Now, I saw a lot of people commenting about this when this first dropped on PS4, where they were like, is it supposed to be this loud? Because it sounds a lot louder than usual, and that was indeed a audio bug, which is now fixed. Now, here's something which I didn't realize was even a thing, but the Thunder Gun will now give you XP from kills. I thought this was always the case, but it doesn't seem to be so. So if you did have any issues beforehand with the Thunder Gun not ranking you up, well, it now grants you XP, which is great, especially for maps like Kino and Ascension. There's also a fixed issue of time attacks not working properly. That's very strange. I don't know if you guys have been going for those recently, but if you have and they've not been working, well, now you know why, and they should be fixed. Now, there was a crash that's fixed that occurred when using the eye candy gobblegum. I've personally never come across this issue, but surely it must have been somewhat significant for them to fix it. And there was a bug fix which occurred while using the idle eyes gobblegum before a host migration. So that's where the zombies would ignore all the players. I'm guessing if the user that had that was the host and there's a host migration, probably confused the game out, and the game probably would have the zombies ignore you for that entire game. So, of course, that is a big exploit which is now fixed. And there's also various collision and pathing issues, which is fantastic news, because on some of the Zombie Chronicles maps, there is some weird materials that you can walk through, which they have now fixed. Now let's jump into some of these specific maps, which we're going to start with Origins, because this has had quite a few bugs, and is definitely the most glitchy of all the Zombie Chronicles maps from release, and this should hopefully iron out some of those. Some of the fixes include elemental staff bugs. If you've been trying to do the main Easter egg, and it involves putting the staffs in the robots, and then picking the staffs back up, I've heard a lot of people saying they can't pick those staffs back up, but now that should be fixed. That should not be an issue anymore. You should be able to complete the Easter egg and not have any issues. There's also fixes with the Panzer soldat's pathing issues and bugs. So this Panzer could sometimes get stuck in certain caves. It could also grip you and pull you under the map, as well as the Panzer falling under the map itself, which is sometimes probably something of a positive if you're going for high rounds, but obviously that's not something which Treyarch want to happen, so that is now fixed. And they've now optimized the streamer performance in the map. So when you're going around corners particularly quickly or going into areas, sometimes you may notice that the textures may load extremely slowly. They've now fixed that, so it should stream in a lot quicker, as well as certain objects and zombies themselves being invisible. They should now not be the case, as all that stuff should now just basically perform and stream in a lot quicker. With Kino de Toten, there's two fixes. Fix an issue where players are being targeted by zombies immediately after teleporting. I felt this was definitely an issue which needed to be fixed, because even when I played it before release, there were zombies that would just crowd around that teleporter as soon as you drop, and that's not fair. That's not fair. So now they've changed it, so it's exactly like it was in other maps where they give you a little bit of time to be able to run around the map and get yourself, basically get your breath back before the zombies come and try and kill you, of course. And there's another issue where players experience a black screen while teleporting. Now, I thought this was intentional, probably just to switch it up from not always showing you that dimension-y teleporter animation. They now will always have that showing, so that's great as well. Shangri-La, there was two things which are now fixed. Fix an issue where the players would lose their primary weapon after picking up the symbol monkey. I've never had that issue before, but that has been something which has been quite a problem in certain custom maps for Black Ops 3 PC, so that's obviously carried over into Shang, but it's now fixed, and they fixed an issue where wall buys could lose functionality. So I've seen this glitch on multiple maps, and this is only specifically on Shangri-La, so hopefully this has been fixed on other maps as well. There'll be certain things you do in the game, and suddenly no wall buys, no gobble gums, no perk machines would have the prompt for you to buy them. It'd be very random on how you fix this issue as well, and I think it's self-medication that actually causes this issue, so you may have to just go down completely for the glitch to reset itself, but that should be fixed. We're now going to jump into Shinonuma, which only has one fix, which is where it's fixed an issue where the flogger kills were not counting towards daily trap challenges. Well, that's now changed, and that counts, of course. And now we have Moon, which has probably one of the most significant changes, which I'm a little bit upset about because it did make high round runs quite easy, but it is a little bit broken, and that's fixing the Widow's Wine exploits. If you don't know what that is, essentially you could use any Widow's Wine drop and you could use the hacker to hack it to get a max ammo. Now, the game shouldn't count that as a drop. It normally counts just the normal things that the zombies will drop rather than the Widow's Wine grenades. But now that's fixed, so you can't hack those anymore, and you can only hack the normal drops rather than Widow's Wine. They also fixed the host migration crash as well, which is a massive deal because you don't want that ruining your games. And they fixed a bug as well that will cause a connection interrupted error when deploying the QED. So obviously this grenade is so damn powerful that it used to have the power to crash your game. So that should hopefully be fixed. And the last map that has fixes is Ascension, where it's fixed various Gersh device bugs. I've never really encountered any of those, but they seem to be fixed. And they've also addressed some collision exploits. I'm guessing things where you could potentially get out the map, or you could walk right through objects. That's now completely fixed. Now, there isn't really any other small minute things that have changed, but the only main thing I can think of is in Kino the Toten, when you teleport and you're in the Pack-a-Punch machine area, you'll notice now that the zombies will actually pile up in front of the stage rather than run towards the teleporter pad in spawn waiting for you to kill you. And even if they still do that, then they won't be able to anymore because they've now changed it so the zombies give you a few seconds breathing space before they try and target you. Now, the big thing is there isn't any M1911 or AK-74U appearances within this patch. I don't know if Treyarch will ever add these two weapons into the zombies mode of Black Ops 3, but the wall buys are the same. There's no new guns inside the mystery box. Nothing's changed like that. Everything's exactly the same. But like I mentioned at the start of the video, if you come across any glitches or bugs in the Zombies Chronicles maps which have not been fixed, or there's new bugs that have come across since you've downloaded this update, feel free to drop it down below in the comment section, or try our best to create like a little document of glitches and bugs, and we can send them across to the people that need to know this stuff so that it can be fixed and updated with a patch. But this will be the patch which everyone that gets this DLC on Xbox One will be receiving unless there's another update that comes out before then. So all of these bugs and fixes will be present within the Xbox and PC version. As it stands right now, we still don't have a confirmed release date for those two platforms, but when we do, I'll be sure to make a video to update you guys. But if you found this video informative and useful in any way, shape or form, then feel free to drop a thumbs up on the video. I'd really appreciate it, and it gets it around to a much wider audience. And if you did enjoy, you want to keep updated with more zombie content and news, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. But thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time.